Well, good morning. We are in the utterly beautiful and stunning South Downs in the UK, and it's Saturday and it's Goodwood Revival, and today we're going to find out what you get for your money if you are just general admission. Of course I had to bring the XK. What else? Maybe the Land Rover, but the XK is the ideal car. However, it rained like nothing else on earth yesterday, and I've seen the car park pictures of Goodwood from yesterday. Maybe I should have brought the Land Rover. We'll see when we get there. So come along, join us for the day, see what you get for £100. This year's ticket for us was last year's price. So if you want to go to next year's revival, then the best thing to do is probably get your tickets around about Christmas time. I think they go on sale around about the end of November time, something like that. And in the last couple of years they've secured previous year's price up until about the end of January. I got these tickets middle of January. They cost me about £90 for the Saturday, which was last year's price. This year's price was £100 for the day. This is general admission. This is just to get you into the circuit and experience everything that's on offer. I think the most you can spend is close on £1,000 for a ticket, which includes your general admission but also hospitality. The biggest package is about £930 for the day, which is an awful lot of money, of course. But there's all sorts of different packages that you can do, so you can tailor it to how you want it. But we have only ever done general admission. We've done it 3 years running, and it's been a fabulous experience every time, effectively. But this year we went on the Saturday, whereas before we've been on the Sunday. Saturday is the most desirable day, but having done the Sundays, I'll be interested to see what Saturday has to offer, because it is more expensive, and why would it be more expensive? However, £100, when you get your ticket, they don't send it on an email. They send it in this really rather nice vintage looking booklet, which is distressed. Actually feels quite special to get this. There's a welcome inside, information about what to do and what to wear, how to get there, eating and drinking, camping, best views, etc. So it gives you lots of information where you don't have to go and look it up on the website. It's all there in front of you. You've got the event app, which is really good, because that tells you information as you go along. But what I would say is there's very little signal for me on site, but you do have the free Wi-Fi, so that's helpful as well. And then at the back you get your 2 tickets for, or however many tickets you bought. And again, they're not just sort of like a bog standard email print off a ticket job. It's a proper ticket like it used to be, and actually I think that makes it feel quite special, if I'm honest. Remember, we're just general admission, we're just general public going to attend an event, a prestigious event, and I think this sort of thing really makes it, you know. I really, you know, we go to London a lot, and theatre tickets and what have you, and you know, you print it off, you put it on your phone and you print it off, you got your little bit of paper that you go and show to the person on the door. It feels all a little bit artificial. This actually makes it really quite nice. So this is what you get when you get your tickets. You see at the bottom it says Revive and Thrive. Not only is it a race meeting, it's also a meeting about social, vintage, fashion, reviving old skills, everything to do with days gone past when it comes to the era of 40s, 50s and 60s motor racing.
Well, we've arrived, and first thing to report, it's wet and it's muddy, and I should have brought the Land Rover, but nonetheless we're here. We got in, and hopefully we can get out again. The car park is a veritable smorgasbord of everything from 70s supercars to modern SUVs and everything in between. We've come across from the main car park and we're in the classic car park. So if you have a car that is pre-1967 or pre-1970, then you have the opportunity to park it in a special car park. It's much closer to the event, and what you can see behind me is just a snapshot. The field is absolutely full of classic cars. Anything and everything that you can see behind me is here, and it's your complete and utter wish list of classic cars at the end of the day. It is fabulous. There is so much to see here. I'm not going to walk around. You know what classic cars look like. We're not here for those necessarily, unless we had nothing better to do, but I assure you there's plenty more to do and see. So let's get inside and have a look. First thing to know, when you come over the bridge from over the road where all the retail and the fairground and the entertainment is going on, is where you spend all your money basically, or a lot of your money before you even get over to the circuit. The first thing to note is there's a lot of people here. It's Saturday, it's the most popular day, it's the most expensive day, and earlier on this was absolutely heaving just here, and it's still pretty busy now, and it's somewhere around about lunchtime. So what I'll do is I'll take you around. I won't say a lot, I'll just take you through the crowd so you can see what's happening in just a snapshot of Revive and Thrive and some of the stalls and stands that you've got here, and yeah, follow us along. They're doing it.
Yeah, well, you would find the elastic webbing a lot more now. But the thing I love about traditional upholstery is, I don't know, it just brings out more of a connection to the piece. Yeah, because I think when I'm doing a traditional refurb, you feel history. With modern stuff, it's not made for covers. It's obviously I do that, and people feel it, but it's not made in sort of, Yeah, and it's really nice because sometimes you find sort of messages and things like that in the piece.
Do you ever leave messages?
No, I have in one piece that I did. With a lady asked me to, so her husband passed away and she asked me to sew in a patch of the old fabric that was on the old piece, so I did that for her.
Somebody in the next 50 years.
Find it, yeah. Yeah, I haven't found any £50 notes or anything yet. Yeah, just a few old toys and things.
It's just
Sorry about the rain, folks.
Patrick brought it with him.
I've come from Yorkshire today.
So I've got this sort of dual aspect of modernity. I've got my phone. Apologies about that. I should have a notepad. And my glasses. I can't see a thing. I'm blind as a bat. But we have with us today Patrick James Grant, Scottish clothier, businessman, television personality, and author. Currently director of the community clothing and textile manufacturer Cookson & Clegg. There's so much I have to read it. And I'm former director of Bespoke, Savile Row Tailors, Norton & Sons, and of course, what a lot of us really know him for, as a judge on the Great British Sewing Bee. Since 2013.
footbridge that goes over to the inner field, and yeah, we've set up camp for lunch, and to try and defy the astronomical prices at Goodwood, we bought our own lunch and picnic, and not ashamed to say it's a salad from Lidl's, G&T, iced coffee, smoothies and plenty of fruit. So this is lunch, and shortly there is going to be a race starting, which I'm hoping to catch. We're on just before the first corner, which is Madgwick. And if I just pan around a little bit, you can see. So you can see how busy it is here. But if you look in the far distance, there's a stand over there. You can see the further you go around the circuit, the less people there are. So you take your choice really. You can walk around the circuit and camp out for the day and watch all the racing and not get involved in anything else. There's plenty of food stalls, coffee stalls, etc. But we were here last year exactly on this spot, and it was raining, and it was quite spectacular because you could see stuff spinning out on the corner as they went round, and really quite exciting. So we're going to have some lunch and hopefully catch his first race.
only one more, and you go to the fireplace.
So that's the end of our day at Goodwood Revival. I hope you enjoyed the video. It's very, very wet and muddy, but we've had a good time watching the racing and looking at all the cars and all the fashion and everything else that's going on around us. So yeah, hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe. Put any comments in the bottom if you feel the need. And we'll catch you on the next one. Take care and bye for now. Well, hi there, it's the morning after the day before, and we had an absolutely fantastic time at Goodwood. Was it all worth it? You bet it was worth it. We went in as general admission, no hospitality package, no 3-day job, no weekend pass, just for the day on Saturday, and absolutely fantastic day. The weather was poor. It's a much better day this morning, although I think forecast later is going to be rainy again. But it was an absolutely, weather aside, absolutely fantastic day. We basically just enjoyed the atmosphere. I mean, that is the biggest thing, is the atmosphere. Everybody makes an effort to dress up. Majority of people, I should say, make an effort to dress up. Not everybody. Most people are in period dress of various forms, uniforms, overalls, mechanics overalls, to poshed up ladies and gents, all sorts of stuff. You decide, you make the decision. Anything from 40s, 50s and 60s is acceptable, and of course you don't have to dress up, but it makes for the atmosphere, and it makes you feel quite special, if I'm honest. The racing was absolutely superb. You can catch all of that on the Goodwood live stream on YouTube. It is brilliant racing, but it's much better in person. The noise, the atmosphere, the smells, everything to do with the racing was fantastic. The cars on show and on whether they're racing or whether they're just static are just out of this world. Awesome bits of kit. If you walk around the paddocks, you can see the cars being worked on. I caught a bit of that on video, although not a huge amount, because the trouble with it is like anything like this, is it gets busy, and it was exceptionally busy. We've been before on Sundays, and Sundays, I don't think I've seen it as busy on a Sunday as it was on Saturday, despite the weather. Now, clearly they've obviously selling tickets, and they're selling tickets to capacity. The whole event was sold out over the whole 3 days. But it was when we got there at about 10 in the morning, 9:30, 10, the amount of people was unbelievable. It was absolutely rammed solid. It did calm down a little bit later in nearer lunchtime as people spread out. But yeah, there was a lot of people. If you can stomach that, that's fine. The other thing we had was we carried quite a lot because we had umbrellas with us. We had fold down stools to be able to sit on and watch the racing, because obviously you couldn't sit on the ground very well because it was wet. You couldn't sort of just perch. There's no seating available as such, unless you're eating and you're sat down eating. So we had quite a lot to carry. Plus as well, I had to walk back and get our lunch because we took our own lunch with us. Prices are very, very high, of course. All these events are exactly the same. Coffee was nearly £4 for not very good coffee, and we're a bit coffee snobbish, if I'm honest. So, you know, it was, from that point of view, we were prepared, but it was tricky carrying everything, trying to film, trying to battle the crowds. I hope that you got a flavour of the revival. If you've never been before, I mean, I hadn't heard of it, ashamedly. I actually hadn't heard of it till about 5 years ago, and it's been going for nearly 20 years. Yeah, I'm a tractor boy. I go to lots of steam rallies, always have done. But I'm getting into classic cars a bit more now, especially as I get older, and I'm starting to appreciate some of these earlier cars. Really quite enjoying that, having a bit of a change of direction. And the revival for me is just a fantastic day out. And if you're into motor racing, doubly important, because one thing I didn't know until I looked it up afterwards was the Tyrrell shed, which has just been reopened. It's been relocated from wherever they found it. I mean, I'm not sure if the Tyrrell shed has been on site and they've developed the old site, or whether it was dismantled and stored, but it's just been rebuilt at Goodwood with all the equipment and all sorts of information about Tyrrell and the Tyrrell racing team and the history that brings. And of course they're a legendary racing team. Just things like that, just, you know, everything was just worth the whole package was just brilliant. The fashion, my gorgeous assistant, she just loved being in the fashion side of things and watching the Revive and Thrive vintage fashion shows and bits and pieces, the talks that they were doing. You know, if you're not into motor racing, doesn't matter. I did Monaco one year, a few years back, Monaco Grand Prix. You don't have to be into motor racing to visit Monaco Grand Prix, I tell you. Everything's going on. Everybody, you know, if you're not into motor racing, it does not matter. Goodwood Revival is exactly the same. Festival of Speed, I've never been to Festival of Speed, so I couldn't comment, but I would suspect that you need to be a petrol head to go to the Festival of Speed. Whereas at Goodwood, you can bring the kids, you can bring yourself, you can bring your partner, you can bring whoever you want, and they will enjoy the day regardless. It's an absolutely fabulous day. I hope I caught a flavour of what we were doing and what we saw and what we experienced. As I say, it was pretty difficult because there were so many people and it was raining on and off quite a lot. So there was a very various amount of to-ing and fro-ing with bits and pieces. But if you're thinking of coming, don't hesitate. Buy the tickets, get them around Christmas time when they come out. You'll get last year's or this year's price. And you can look at the packages that are available for food and for hospitality and all that sort of stuff. Even become a member if you want to. I'm not a member, but if you become a member, you get various perks and bits and pieces. Anyway, I'll stop rambling because it's a lovely day and I'm going to enjoy the day. Yeah, have a great time if you come to Goodwood next year, and we'll catch you on the next one. Take care and bye for now.